1914 meets 1932 meets Star Wars.
Martians!
We have tripods, massive steam-powered tripods. What could be cooler than to take the idea that man has adopted the Martian technology, they've retrofitted it, they've rebuilt their cities, they've rebuilt their civilizations. One day I was in Tokyo pitching the heavy metal video project at a film festival, and I met this Chinese guy on a bus.
We struck up a conversation, we became friends, and although we went back to our countries, myself in Malaysia and Joe in the US, we kept a dialogue going, and he started showing me some of the animation projects that he had. And one of them that really came out was War of the Worlds Goliath.
I really wanted a writer who could take what I've done and go way, way beyond what I could do with it. I just worked with David and with Kevin Eastman on the Highlander Search for Vengeance anime.
He said, the money's coming from Malaysia. And I went, Malaysia? Right. That's like the money's coming from Germany. The money's coming from Lithuania. Or we got some mob money from Moscow. People who do projects, the money comes from everywhere in the world, but it very rarely happens. But this actually happened.
I'm a sentimental guy, but when I read what he did with these characters, how he brought them to life, how he created individual character personalities, not by having them declaim and do information dumps, but he brought them to life by the way they interacted with each other.
After they burned out Espanola and blowed up my wife, I joined that militia. And they thought they got my Lucy. Oh, no. I fooled them good.
How'd you do that?
Huh? Oh, I found a piece of her. See?
Try to imagine if we were in 1914 now, what kind of fanciful world would we create?
So you have a combination of all of the Victorian iron and metal, all of the beautiful early deco of the early New York skyscrapers, those beautiful racing planes from the 30s, but fused with this kind of World War I era aesthetic. And then on top of that, we throw in a twist of real futuristic technological edge, which the Martian technology would provide.
After the initial sketch, we will produce concept art. I think the purpose of concept art we produce for War of the World, especially for storyboard artists, because the storyboard artists need the details. They need to understand about where the location are and what is the set look like.
Studio Klein was a gift from God. I will say unequivocally that these are the best designers I have ever worked with on any project.
We sort of looked at different possibilities of who could be great to fill these roles. In many discussions with David about this, he said, let's go mine some of the original Highlander guys.
There were a couple of scenes that I understood. There were a couple of scenes that when I read them, I go, okay, I know how to play those. There is a big scene in the cafeteria where he kind of rallies and inspires the people around him.
It is they who are the traitors! Those pompous, arrogant fools who call you to their war! They say they fight for their honor when it is only for their greed and their vanity!
It's a different style that you have to get a feel for. But I love doing it. I love doing radio drama. I love doing animations. And this was an absolute joy.
Well, I think there's a wee chill in the air. You don't know what you're missing, Jennifer, my darling.
When we first were thinking about casting Adrian Paul as Patrick, there was some hesitation for a couple of reasons. One of which is we didn't know if he could do a really full-throated Irish brogue and accent.
What's a Irish song? That's
Sweet Molly Malone.
I know, but how'd the tune go? Come on, sing it for me. Sing it for me.
Molly Malone.
I was really impressed by Adrian, by just what he brought to that role. He came prepared with all kinds of alternative lines, all kinds of new reads and nuances, which really made that character come to life.
Focus my arse.
He brought an incredible verve and humor.
La 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 la.
Good morning, Captain.
Elizabeth Grayson is a wonderful actress, great comic timing. She could play about anything, but to play a woman with spunk and with attitude, it was just perfect for her.
That's Lieutenant Carter, Corporal.
Jennifer comes from an upper class background. I always saw her as kind of a Rockefeller heiress who literally walks out on the altar from her husband.
So, is it true your father owns a railroad?
No. He owns 2.
She doesn't want to be a society bride, and she walks out and enlists in this international army.
Come on! Come on, damn you! It's blood! Let's go! Hurry! On your right! There's another one! To your left! You got him! O'Brien, I need power! Damn you, die!
A bunch of us are going to the Green Man to let off a little steam.
Every time I read Abraham Douglas, I was thinking jet black Cowboy Bebop, for sure.
I spoke to Lieutenant Carter. She asked if you were coming.
We wrote him as a family man who has a wife and children that he cares deeply about. He's the oldest member of our team of heroes. He's really the only one with a family of his own that he's, nurtured and protecting. And Bo brought a lot of resonance to those few lines that he actually had where he could talk about his wife and kids.
Tonight, I'm not the Secretary of War. I'm just an old soldier named Teddy who could use a drink with friends.
The first time he opened his mouth as Teddy Roosevelt, it was like, yeah, this guy is Roosevelt.
Many of our brothers and sisters around the globe, and we, in our humanity, are all brothers and sisters, are fighting and dying at this moment.
I thought he was a natural to play Teddy Roosevelt because he's kind of a gruff, real, even though he's Canadian, he's an American kind of character.
Give 'em hell, boys! Yeah, I just like to see him bleed.
Adam Baldwin especially, I think that was I think we lobbed that one in, 1 second away from the buzzer and hoped that he would come on board because I think we're all fans of the original Firefly series and Chuck and all the things that he's done. So I think it was great to see that he came on board and played such a major role.
Ain't no more squad. Except me. Hope your sorry asses were worth it.
It was an amazing, if somewhat slightly intimidating moment to have him in the recording session.
To kill me some more tripods.
You know where they are?
Hell, I know where them bastards live.
He was just the biggest sweetheart, man, who went all completely Jack Nicholson on that role.
Oh, shit!
He's the man of 1,000 voices. You may all know him as the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi in George Lucas's Clone Wars.
I said I'd rather drink piss than drink to them. Simulations and games mean nothing. And don't think that farting match with Spain and Cuba was a war. If Germany was involved, we would have ended it in a week. Everyone knows that the Germans are the best soldiers in the world. And after we kick Europe's ass, we'll come for you in America, Teddy.
Sun Min is the place where finally the pedal hits the metal in animation.
그러니까 조 피어슨 씨를 만난 거는 지난 1991년인가 2년도 됐고요. 그때 처음 만나서 이제 알게 됐고 우리가 그 애니메이션에 대한 얘기를 했었는데 이제 그 후에 같이 일을 하게 된 게 스페이스 몽키라는 작품을 하게 됐고 그렇게 하면서 좀 더 우리가 애니메이션적으로 굉장히 오래된 친구같이 하게 됐던 그런 많은 상황을 겪었고 그 다음에 또 적은 그 다음 프로젝트를 하면서 이제 서로가 뭐를 원하는가 그런 걸 알게 됐고 그렇기 때문에 우리는 애니메이션을 할 동안은 정말 멋진 파트너십을 가진 친구로 이렇게 지내게 됐습니다.
When we started discussing the sound design approach for this movie, we realized there were some very unique opportunities. We have biplanes and 100-foot mechanical tripods with heat rays, steam-powered. We have 1,000-foot zeppelins, which are like aircraft carriers of the sky, and it's just awesome.
We've created a compelling, believable world and universe and characters in the crucible of a high-action combat story that has its own logic and doesn't break out of its logic. This isn't like brain-dead science fiction. This is good, hard action science fiction, and the fans are going to like it.
You want to believe that, you know, this could end badly. You want to take them to that place, to the dark place. Well, this isn't going to end up the way that you want it to, but still at the end you're going to sort of still bring out that hero element, that there is a light at the end of the day, there is a continuation of human life, and it was because of not machines or technology or that kind of stuff that saved them. It's sort of the human will to survive, and I think that's really the heart of most science fiction stories, at least to me it is, and I think this captures all that and much, much more.